Well, if you were watching my video last September, then this is the area here where I walked in that really quite miserable weather, to say the least. So sort of down there, we might be able to see it when we're further up, but down there is the tarn where I was camping. Obviously over there you can see Great Gable. I'm assuming one of those hills over there is Scarfell Pike. I can't identify many of them up here, I have to say. And we're going to head up here in a minute. Really, it's coming up to 4 o'clock. I left at 3. Maybe I should have left a little bit before 3. But let's see. But we've got you know, plenty of hours of sunlight. It literally doesn't get dark until like almost 10 o'clock. So, you know, given that it's 4 o'clock, you know, we've still got, you know, 6 hours of daylight, and we've only got about 1 or 2, well, maybe about 2, upwards of 2 kilometers, you know, to go. I get to Scout Fell, and then I got to figure out where to camp. It is quite windy. I was thinking of pitching on the top, but we'll kind of see. But there's certainly some it's certainly a little bit different to Dartmoor up here. I don't think my dad would like it up here. He gets vertigo. I must admit, some of them even make me not want to get exactly too close. Okay, well, I'm gonna carry on, and I'll see you a bit later. Well, welcome to Camp Sunshine. Camp Sunshine. Not exactly sunny weather as usual, but it's not oh, there's a load of sheep barring. Lassie, Lassie, come here, come here, Lassie, come here. Look at the sheep coming towards us. Come here, Lassie. Come here, Lassie. Lassie, come here. Come here. Lassie. Lassie, come back here. Come back here. Come back here. Come back here. Now you stay. Stay there. Stay. Lassie, stay. Lassie. Stay. Come here. Come back here. Good girl. That's a good girl. Come back here. They were they were brave sheep, weren't they? They were coming over to say, how'd you do? Some brave sheep. And that's where is she? That's a good lassie. Good girl. That's a good girl. Good job I was keeping an eye on you though. Good girl. Good girl. But as you can see, it's very misty. I was planning on going up Scout Fell, or whatever it's called. I was planning on going up that hill and, you know, pitching up there or something like that, but it was really windy, so I thought that it was more prudent, as I was down in this sort of sheltered area, to find somewhere, you know, just a little bit more sheltered. So I've pitched the Trailstar down here. It's a little bit of a rough area. It's a bit lumpy and bumpy in places, so it's not a perfect pitch. Check out my Trailstar pitching videos. I don't actually show pitching it, but I sort of talk about it. But you can see that I've got it pitched here. There's a load of rocks in there. Got a rockery again. But hopefully this area through here will be flat enough, either through there or even at the back. Might very well work. I'll kind of get the bivvy out, get inside, as it were. Get inside, and we'll kind of see, you know, we'll see what it's like in there. There wasn't any mist forecast, just, you know, a bit of clouds, so I don't know where this came from. So I'm kind of glad actually that I did end up pitching here, because if I hadn't, I suspect that I would have been walking up the top, because I've only been here 45 minutes or something like that. So it's kind of fortuitous that I, you know, that I stopped here and I'm not walking in the mist, which would be fine. I mean, I'm okay walking in the mist, but I'm not a big fan of it. Like I said, I'm okay walking in it, but I'm not keen on it. But we've got a nice pitch here. I don't think we'll see anyone today now. It's coming up to 6 o'clock. We're as far away from the car park as it's possible to be here, realistically. So I don't think we'll find anyone walking past. Probably tomorrow, I think in the morning, probably sometime after 10, 11, we'll probably get the odd person walking past. But it is quite breezy up here, so and it's going to stay windy tomorrow, so I don't think we'll get many people walking around up here. The main path itself is kind of like, you know, just over there. But Lassie will probably bark at anyone that comes past, but you know, we are a little distance from the path, not that far. So this is the path up here, and I mean, to be honest, you know, if you're walking along here and you're just concentrating, you know, on following the path, you know, through there, you you can't really, realistically, you can't really even see the Trailstar there. I mean, you can, but it certainly blends in very well. One very, very minor error that I made, but it's quite minor and it should be okay, is I thought west was sort of, you know, literally that way, but that's more sort of southwest. West is more, you know, this way. But again, that's fine. It'll be, you know, any wind that comes in will be basically hitting it there, or maybe, you know, straight off that side there. Now, like I said, I've got it pitched quite low here, but yeah, I think that's a good old pitch. But it's quite cool. I don't know what the temperature is. It's coming up to 6, but it is quite cool. So I think realistically I'm going to have a pee, and then I think even if the sun had been out, if it had been a nice sunny day, it almost certainly up here would have been fine to sit on one of these rocks around here somewhere and, you know, settle down outside for a little bit. But I don't think that's much of an option, to be honest. So I definitely think we're going to be ducking inside now, and then that'll be me chilled out for the evening. I'll see you later. Okay, well, here we are inside the Trailstar. I've not sorted myself out properly yet, so we've got a big jumble of stuff there. I obviously carried water up with me. You can see the rockery in the doorway plus inside the Trailstar. So that rockery there will probably give us some protection if any wind comes from that direction, but it shouldn't. I have, just in case, I've put a line down there and a line over there. Now, if perchance the wind does come in the door, as long as it's not too much, then I can use, because I've run out of pegs. I brought enough pegs, but I've gone and used them all by double securing the Trailstar in position. So I kind of used up my spare pegs, which is probably the first time I've ever literally not had any more pegs left. So if the wind was to come in, I could put my kilt in the door, but normally I would peg it down. But as I don't have pegs, basically what I've done is I've just attached a line, one there and that one there, and then I can use those carabiners plus obviously the bungee on the pole, as it were, probably somehow to rig up some sort of makeshift door. I don't think it'll be necessary, but I've just covered that eventuality, you know, just in case. So we're sitting inside. We've pitched it lower than last night. So we've got that edge to the ground, that one is to the ground, that's to the ground there. You can see that that piece of ground there and that piece of ground there is higher than there. Likewise, obviously over there, there's a few lumps of grass there, so that one I couldn't quite get as low as I would have, you know, liked to have done. And obviously that one there is quite high off the ground, you know, completely there. So what I might end up doing, given that the wind I thought was coming from behind is actually coming sort of in this direction, it's going to be coming under there. Unfortunately, I could move the door, but then it's still going to be coming under there. So I'm not really going to be, you know, unless I have to move the door, I'm not really going to be any better off. I can't realistically get that much lower. I want to keep it away from those rocks there. I probably could get it lower if I had to. Probably lower the pole there, lower that pole. That would then lower that corner, which would then, you know, get that lower to the ground, but it's still not going to get it, you know, flush to the ground. So we're kind of just going to have to put up with that. So I'll probably end up just putting my pack somewhere, you know, along there. I think it'll be fine. It's not, you know, it's not freezing. It's not freezing cold. But as you can see, there's, you know, there's a ton of usable space in here. You know, look how much room I've put the bivvy in. I brought the bivvy because, like I said, people have been asking whether the bivvy fits in here. Normally I would bring just a ground sheet, but I just wanted to try the bivvy just to see, you know, if it would work. And, you know, you can see the bivvy here, you know, it's not anywhere near the end there, and we're nowhere near the door. I mean, you know, this is here, and one dog is actually inside the Trailstar there. So to be honest, I think even if you were somewhat over 6 foot, you would be okay, because, you know, this is a full length thermarest pad. It might not be 6 feet long, but it's probably not far off, so it's nowhere near the end over there. And we're well inside. In fact, this little bungee cord thing here comes up quite nicely to that tie-off point there. So there is, you know, an absolute ton of space in here, and as long as you just jiggle where you're putting your lines and how you do things, and you're a bit flexible with it, again, you know, I mean, look where I've pitched it. Look where I've pitched it. You know, yes, you might get your tent in here, but, you know, I'm not exactly sure that you would. Just starting to rain, so good job that we're settled down inside. I gotta get the sleeping bag out. Oh dear. And get inside the sleeping bag and have some soup and tea, some pasta, and just chill out. Oh, good early afternoon, everybody. We're in camp. We have started to pack up in a little bit. We got up about 9 this morning. There's not really very much to show you outside because it's still completely misty outside. Here's the little hound of the hound of the Baskervilles. Go and settle down over there. Settle down. Okay. I'm gonna have one more tea, and then I'm gonna get cracking. Because when the weather clears, we might suddenly get an influx of people up here, and I don't really. This is we're just off the main path, and I don't want to be, you know, have dozens of people. Although, to be honest, in reality, I think only 1 or 2 would pass anyway. But it would be nice. But it would be nice to get going quite soon, and then we can try and get to the next spot. At least it's downhill mostly, apart from just up this little hill here. But really, all we've been doing is just chilling out. I've got most of the pack packed here. I've just got to put my trousers on. I've got my down jacket on because it's quite cool. In fact, I slept in my down jacket last night. It was that cool. The bivvy did fine. We've packed pretty much everything away. We've just got the Trailstar 2 pack. I just wanted to show you one thing, a little warning. That was a guy line that was coming over or around this stone, and it was catching on here, I think. And at about 5 o'clock this morning, no, I think actually it was later than that. I think it was about 7 o'clock this morning or something like that. I noticed this part of the Trailstar was flapping in on me, and of course my first thought was, well, maybe the peg had slipped, but it wasn't the peg. The peg was in. I can hear a few voices in the mist. Just had one person run past, and I can hear some other people talking, but I can't see anything in the mist at all. I don't know if I can, oh yeah, I see 3 people coming down. So the reason why now this panel is not as tight as it was last night is basically because I've had to just bring this peg to the left of that stone because I didn't want to slice off another piece of cord there. So that's why this panel is a little bit on the slack side. So make sure you take all your rubbish with you. And the Trailstar did very well last night. It was quite breezy. I'm just wondering whether when you're on the edge like this, that even when the wind is like coming, you know, from your rear as it were, whether because you're right on the edge, whether you can get currents, because it felt like wind was coming in the door occasionally, even though the wind was definitely blowing from behind. So I'm partly wondering whether, you know, if you're right on the edge, some wind from that valley kind of comes up and in. I don't know, I'm not apart from baked bean wind, I'm not really up on my wind, but I did notice that some air was coming in occasionally. Anyway, I'm going to collapse the Trailstar and get packing and get walking because it's not really very nice out here at all. I think and hope the sun is supposed to come out later. We're going to be lower down as well, so that will definitely, you know, help quite a bit down into that valley. So hopefully down there the mist will clear, even if it's up here. Okay, well, it's a very, very windy one now. We're following this brick wall basically. We've looked at the map, we've checked the watch. I've not put the route on the watch, but the mapping on the watch following a path. I've checked the map as well, plus I've checked the OS mapping, and the main thing is we're gonna head down here and we will know where we have to turn left, because this wall, and this is shown on the map, goes down, and then at 700 meters, we're at about 800 at the moment, at 700 meters it's going to go back up again. So basically we go down, and if we start to go up we've gone too far. We turn left at the bottom of the hill. So in other words, when we get down to 700 meters, which is where this wall levels off before going up, that's where we take a left-hand turn, and maybe hopefully the weather will improve somewhat. I'm kind of glad that I had that rather sheltered spot to camp in. It could have been interesting to camp here in this wind, but if you can avoid it, then obviously that's a good thing to do. Now it is windy and it is cold and my hands are getting cold, so I'm going to turn off and I'm going to carry on, and I will see you a bit later.
Once again, for some very strange reason, the microphone failed me. So I'm chatting here and of course you can't hear me. basically what I'm saying is I was walking down this hill, and of course the top part of the hill was very misty and windy, and then the one like enjoyable thing of the mist is as you walk downhill, you of course eventually come out of the mist, and when you do that you finally get some really nice views. And that's basically what I was saying there. I said some more. I've cut that because there was a load more of me chatting away, and I just cut that out. And then that last little bit is you can see that we're at 588 meters and the camp spot is around about 400 meters. So I knew when I got down to 400 that was pretty close to where camp would be. And you will see that in the next video. So please do like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button to all. Please return for the next part. And of course I will also have a video dedicated to the 3 different pitches of this trip for the Trailstar. So be sure to check that out once it's completed. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again soon.